everybody. It's Mika Parker. I have the negative aspects of power. The first thing I will tell you is the five sources of power. The five sources of power are coercive power, legitimate power, referent power, expert power, and reward power. Now, all of these powers are specific in what type of power that they hold specifically. Coercive power, this is power that is dependent upon submission or the giving up of free will. It uses punishment and force to get an individual to comply. An example of this type of power will be if a manager did not think that a worker was doing a procedure correctly, the manager could threaten to write the worker up, cut their pay, or suspend them, etc. Negative impacts of this is lower job satisfaction. No one wants to be threatened, especially in the workplace. So they're less likely to stay in the organization. Now that is going to lead to high turnovers, which is the next negative thing that will happen. Um, the second power is legitimate power. Now, legitimate power, this power has to do with the position or the status of an individual in a company. This power derives from authority and social cultural forms, phrase 2014. An example of this type of power will be the position of a man in a company. Some cultures value men more than they value women, phrase 2014. Negative impacts of this would be one person from one culture could feel like they are getting discriminated against because of the way others treat another individual from another culture. Um, Workers may feel less of an asset to the company, and workers may begin to think that someone is being shown favoritism and they haven't been treated the same way. Referent power. Referent power, this power comes from interpersonal relationships between individuals in an organization. So you can think of it like on a job application when they ask you for references, you usually put down the people that are going to give you good references. You don't put down people that's going to say bad things about you. So that's what referent power is. So an example of this would be Dr. Billy and Nurse Carla. Okay, Nurse Carla has gotten instructions from Dr. Billy to do a certain procedure, but the procedure is going to be kind of risky. Dr. Nolan, Nurse Caleb, Dr. Hanson, and Nurse Becky all talk highly of Dr. Billy to Nurse Carla. And they tell her that she's making the right choice because he knows what he's doing and things like that. And so Nurse Carla then does the procedure because of what the other people said. So, referent power can influence someone's actions because, they talked highly of Dr. Billy. So that Nurse Carla believed them and she went ahead and did the procedure. Negative aspects of this type of power, well, let's change the scenario around. Let's say Nurse Caleb and Dr. Hanson and Nurse Becky were all talking negative about Dr. Billy. Then I don't think Nurse Carla would do the procedure as she did in the above example. One other negative aspect is that people can talk badly about you, like I just said, and that would affect the decision of others. And another negative aspect is that just because someone says something doesn't mean it's necessarily true. So somebody can talk bad about somebody, but that doesn't mean the things that they're saying is true. So that can be one negative aspect of referent power. Moving on, expert power. Expert power is just what it says. They say knowledge is power, and in this type of power, it is. It is derived from having knowledge about a specific topic or subject. These individuals are highly respected and highly valued because of the information that they know. An example of this would be the relationship between teachers and students or doctors and patients, things like that. Negative impacts. Well, doctors don't know everything, so sometimes they give out the wrong information to patients regarding prognosis, diagnosis, or the prescriptions that the patient should take. So sometimes they don't know, they have it wrong. So that could be one downside to expert power. Another negative aspect is almost have to trust the person with the expert power because they don't really know about the subject. So even if the person is wrong, you have to kind of trust them because you don't really know about, the specific subject. So that's why people in expert power are highly valued. Moving on, reward power. This power provides rewards and privileges to individuals in an organization. This can aid a worker in changing their behavior. It is a driving force for workers to perform their work efficiently and correctly. An example of this power would be pay raises, promotions, vacation extensions, things like that. Negative aspects of reward power is that if a worker never gets a reward, they could feel like they are not valued in the company. And another negative aspect is that this could go hand in hand with coercive power because in order to get an award, sometimes you have to conform to what the leader wants you to do. And that's not always what you want to do to get the reward. So that could be, part of coercive power. Mintzberg's political games are expected to be played in healthcare organizations. Power offers the basis for competition and political games. Political games are played in order to develop and advance the power of individuals in an organization. Johnson, 2009, page 145. Negative aspects of playing these games are confrontation, having confrontation among people in the group, in the organization, shaky alliances. Most people in politics, some people say they don't trust people in politics, and that's how or other organizations could view an organization as playing political games. Politicized organizations, meaning, they are set up in a politicized structure, and some organizations might not want to participate in that. And complex political arenas. That means putting an organization, in one specific political arena where no other organizations can come in and try to deter the political views that that organization has, and that's not always good. And that's from Clegg, 2014, page 164. So I thank you guys for listening. I hope you understood what I was saying. My voice is kind of raspy right now, but I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday, and thank you for listening.